Did it work? Did it? Oh wait, it worked. All right, I know it worked. I can guarantee it worked, even though there's a delay. I'm I'm getting this right. I'm not even checking it. No, I'll check it. I'll check it real quick. There's me on mute. There's me talking. All right, yeah, I got it. This, I tell you what, this live stuff is, it's actually a lot easier if you actually do it. Yeah, it's the more practice that you have, the better you'll get. Well, at least setting everything up, not the actual content in the live or whatever. So, uh, hello. If you're in, if you are watching the playback, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. I've got a command board set up. I've got a 30-minute timer going that I may or may not actually use. That's kind of the goal. And I've said before that one of my goals in here is just to kind of pop in a little more frequent or frequently than once every 3 weeks, and not nearly as long as like that 2 hour kind of window that I'm looking at when I do go live, and I have a more structured. Yeah, gotta put it in there. Gotta put it in there. If there's anything in my life structured other than my work schedule, it would be the channel, as far as, or maybe how it used to be, but as far as the live was concerned. So not a big deal. If people pop in, that's awesome. But for the most part, this is kind of just shooting the breeze and, like I said, checking in. So trying to do like a 30-minute conversation. I do have some things I can talk about, or if people come in, hey, chat away, right? And it's on a hard cutoff. I think Moto Alley made a joke, which is pretty good. If anything, if anybody knows me, when I say 30 minutes, and then you click the playback, or before you even click it, it shows you on the bottom right. YouTube lets you see how long the duration is. My 30 minutes, and it's a 42-minute video. That's more like it. But the goal is to not actually like cut all conversation off and all that stuff. So I'll finish the conversation, but really when I go down to, when the time gets to 0, it pauses, and it starts counting up in red. That's like the overtime, I guess. But no, I just want to kind of have a conversation. It can be about, about the channel, kind of like almost like State of the Union, where, just a fireside chat. And I was thinking about like a name for this, and I try to stay kind of like, on brand and all that. So we have the typical stream, which is 2 hours long, and that's beyond the ride. Beyond the Shadow is more of the podcast style, which I've wanted to edit, and I'll get into that in a second. And then obviously just the regular channel, Firefighter and stuff. And for those of you who don't know, I have 2 other channels that I'm in the process of working on, and it's more of a 2026 kind of time frame on that. And that's a studio, like a Firefighter studio channel, and a Firefighter gaming. And I saw from somebody else that you can actually feature other channels, and I'm kind of hesitant on that because they're completely different categories, as far as motovlogs and photography, and I know, and gaming. That's the other one. Just playing PlayStation, Call of Duty, zombies, stuff like that. And and I know that you can blend or mix those together. And Steven, what's up, man? What's up? The Silver Winger. I always want to say Silver Swinger, but that is completely different. Silver Winger 82, I believe. One number off from one of my favorite numbers, 83 and 38. But what's up, man? Always good to see you in the chat, and hit up some of the videos and stuff like that, leaving comments. I appreciate you very much. But I was just kind of getting into, like, what this is. It's just kind of like just casual conversation. It can be, like I said, it's not structured. It is I have an avenue to go, a direction to go, but at the same time, it gives me the freedom to just kind of pop in, because it's more frequent than the 3-week live, that I can kind of go over whatever. And this one, just to get over or to get started, I will share my screen. This button, boom. So, anyway, this was just that wasn't really for show, but this is just made the thumbnail, which I'm not trying to go crazy with thumbnails here. I need a placeholder is what I need. But I was in the process of this video, and so like the title of this, whatever fireside chat or live stream is cameras and more cameras. And I shot a maintenance video, and an embarrassing maintenance video, but nonetheless it's going down. So I tell myself quite frequently. Everybody knows that. So uh leaving all like the blemishes, and kind of just throwing it in there for fun, because I don't take myself too seriously, of course. I think if you watch even one of my videos, you'll figure that one out, or live stream or whatever. But I just like to have a good time making these videos and enjoying the company of others. Steven, thank you once again. But I going back to that studio, what I want to do on that studio channel, and kind of a learning process of photography and stuff, and kind of come up with. I've got a bunch of ideas for that, and that's like I said, that's a separate. It's going to be like almost like like a sister station of the channel, or whatever you would say, but maybe spin off or whatever. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. But doing so, I kind of set it up like I did here, having like a multicam sequence, and obviously it's some people, and not necessarily the people that follow me, and I appreciate that, because I have my videos have a certain taste where it's not specs on a bike, or it can be, but I'm not that kind of channel. Like I enjoy riding motorcycles and doing things that are motorcycle related, but at the same time, like the interest that I have on going over like specs every episode, or not even episode. I call them episodes because I try to treat them like an episode versus a video or review or something like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a different slice of the pie or whatever. I don't know. That's not a thing, but I'm going with it. What's up, Rascal? Yeah, I got to talk to you about that Redskin game, huh? No, I think we'll just leave that at mute at best. Best haircut ever? Yeah. All right, I'll get into that. Let me finish my train of thought here. But I can Google specs. Like that's when I watch a video, when I watch other motovloggers, I like the journey. I like the personality. I like the story. Part of that story could be about, what they're doing that day on that motorcycle, or it can be about how they feel about that motorcycle. So it can go two different ways. Clearly they're on two wheels or three wheels, and that's just what I watch. That's their prerogative. That's my prerogative. And that's kind of how I do it. So having these cameras, I set them up just kind of more of a practice. Like I talk about practice with the live streams here. I am practicing setting up like a multicam sequence. I edited it a different way, and well, you can kind of see. You don't have to see too much, but I can zoom out, and I'll actually share this. So I've got quite a bit footage saved, and I'll switch over real quick to just that, or well, I guess I'm in the middle a little bit, or to the left, but quite a bit to go through. I started going over editing, and I realized I was like, wow, this is probably going to end up being like a couple videos or a few videos, because it's two different, or I guess technically it's two different projects, like doing maintenance on the bike, introduction, all that other stuff. And I knew that the video is going to be quite long, surprise. So I just I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down to about 12 or 15 minutes instead. As you can see, there is quite a bit. This goes on for, I've got to like add it all up. But I mean, part of this is like a ride. If I fast forward, or it may not be on here. I take it back. There should be, oh, you know what? That's a different set of GoPro. Yeah. So I got to cut quite a bit out, but I'm going to make a couple videos out of it. And then there's a ride that night. Obviously, if you change your oil, you want to make sure you want to start it up, make sure there's no leaks and stuff like that. So there's more of that. There's a lot of, I have a lot of issues, but I make so many mistakes, and I know why. It's because I'm focused on, one camera would die, another camera would, I start that one up. My 360 actually had my lav mic, so all my audio, the crisp audio, was coming from the lav mic on my shirt that was tied or connected to the 360. So once that died, I didn't have audio. I haven't even got to that part in the video, but as you can see, pretty much from the brown, that's the Nikon. The red is the 360. The blue is blue and green are GoPros. So more on that in a little bit. So practice. That's kind of what I'm getting at, and I'll dive into that a little bit. But Rascal, my wife, she's like, "You're getting a haircut. You're getting a haircut." So this is my haircut. For anybody that doesn't know, I shave my head. I buzz it. Um, and then so it's easy, save a ton of money. It's a military haircut, right? Save a ton of money in haircuts. See, this is what the fireside chat's all about. Just off the cuff, right? But it saved a ton of money because I've had the same like buzz cut haircut since a junior or a sophomore. I think a junior in high school, and just shave it, done, and then let it grow. So then it grows for I got water too. It's just in a weird monster can. It's then let it grow for like 2 months or something like that or more. And then shave it again. My wife will hound me. You need to cut your hair. You need to cut your hair. Not yet. I'm just getting to the best part. Just getting the best part, the best length. But yeah. Anyway, so this is it's fun for me. It's like the very beginning, and I think it's on mute anyway. But the very beginning, I just go over like cameras, and I wasn't intending this to be a sneak peek, but it should be on mute. Yeah, you might hear it through my mic. One, two, three, four. So it's just to me, this it's just fun. It's just fun, and I said something a little bit ago about like getting back to people having fun with YouTube, and I'm not gonna get involved too much with that because I've talked about it before, but I really enjoy making videos and engaging, and that's why here I am at the live tonight, just a random what's today, Tuesday, a random Tuesday, and going live, and I appreciate y'all that are here in the chat or that are here, and I don't necessarily look at like how many people are here. I just see the chat. So you need a haircut too? Yeah, yeah. So because I don't. I got these things. These basically like if nobody was watching, which would be perfectly fine. I get it. I set these up just to have a conversation, and the 30 minutes seems like kind of the sweet spot where I can cut myself off within 40 minutes, realistically. But another part of conversation I want to have is the which I touched on the live, the actual live that I do on Wednesday, every third Wednesday, was I was talking about the miniseries coming up. Clearly, I'm doing a maintenance video. This is about getting prepped for that. Yeah, love it live. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Well, I mean, I've said before, like I used to stream live back in the day, and they're on the channel, and I have no idea what's on them. But I remember streaming like for at one point like 5.5 hours. It was like, and it was like a weird time. It was after midnight. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was all over the place. I had fun. I was just talking, and I was actually editing a video, and then I ended up going on the internet, going to like Harley and Honda website, Harley Davidson's website, and just kind of like just going over stuff, and nobody was there, right? And nobody had. I always give myself like or give the disclaimer like nobody has to be there, but I talked for like 5.5 hours, and Rascal, like no disrespect, but like if nobody was watching, I know you could do the same thing. So we got to get together one of these days and figure out how to do like a host co-host kind of thing because that'd be pretty fun, man. That would be pretty fun. And I know you got something cooking too, over on your channel too that you mentioned during your live. So, uh, well, I'll ask you the question. Have you worked on that? Whether it's the ship, I have to see. I don't think you put anything else out lately. And in that radio, like you were saying, that radio broadcast. So I'll throw it on to you, and we will go back. So it should keep Should keep the time. Yes, nice. That's such a huge win for me, is having that countdown timer stay, even though it's considered a scene, and the fact that like it doesn't reset to 30 minutes. I do know how to reset it. If I go back to that 1 minute timer, because there's no 30-minute timer within that, it'll like reset when I go back. So that's pretty cool to be able to, at least I figured that out. But you know, with the mini series that I have coming up, it's kind of daunting. So like having these cameras and having an hour of footage to try to like dissect and then try to find different angles and cut. And if you cut, you got to make sure that you cut. If I show it again, let's see. So if I want to, I'll go to something that's not edited yet. I would well, take it back. So this was the original. All right. So if I cut, it looks confusing, but it's really not. It does make sense. They're all color coded. So anything below this line, can you see it? Let's see. Probably. Anything below, like right in between the two rows here that are brown. Yeah, you can see it. Below where I am right here is audio. Those are all audio tracks, and above it, going north, is the video tracks. And so, like, if you cut, you have to make sure you cut everything out, because the reason I say, and it kind of makes sense, but after a while, like, you start getting these gaps, and if you mess it up and ripple delete, meaning you bring the column or bring the rows over to meet, and one of them's off, especially the red one is the audio that I actually use. That's the only audio I use. Everything else is muted, or it's going to be deleted to save file on export, or save space on export. But when I do that, if I don't line it up, because I usually just like clap in the beginning, if I mess that up and it's off, then everything's off, and I won't find it until, you know, something happens, or I see like lip sync is off or something like that. So I have to make sure that it's right, and I'm working on a better way to do that, other than, because like I said, when the camera shuts off, which it does in here, and I have to try to like find out where it shut off and all the other stuff. When I turn it back on, I'm pretty sure I do a clap, or if I'm on the motorcycle, I'll beep the horn, so I can kind of sync them together. So now going to conversation about, let me catch up with you real quick. You need some help with editing, but I just okay, I got the wood and need to start. Shit, nice. So you got the wood. Nice. Is that wood? Is that? I imagine you don't have Home Depot. You have something else. I can't remember the title or the business name. So you got the wood. Is it something that you could just go and buy? It's not like, well, I guess, I mean, it's durable, so it's not like it's like balsa wood or anything like that. It's real wood. I mean, especially if they were going to do fights. And I've been chugging away with the zombie series. Yeah, the zombie series you make. Okay, so have you posted any of that yet? And I could check, but just since you're right here, yeah, I'd definitely be interested in checking that out. Let's see. Real wood, yeah. I know it sounds weird, but I meant like durable, like plywood, or what's up, TC? Early for you, right? Or you're 12 hours ahead or more. Either way, it's 7:18 right now. I think we did this before. I couldn't remember if you're 12, 13, 14 hours away. And Rascal, that sounds weird. Yeah, real wood. I'll let you chop down a tree. I know you chopped down a tree, made it yourself, but like because you mentioned before that there are fights with this, like RC fights and stuff. Oh yeah, man. This is just a quick pop in, pop out. Not posted anything yet. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that's TC. This is to keep me on task, man. All right, so you're 11. Okay, so you're okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's good to know. Because when I used to post at midnight, that's when I first met you. Is when I posted at midnight on Sunday. So that would be actually like Monday morning for you. Or I take that back. Monday after or Sunday afternoon. Final answer. But the other thing I was gonna say is, so I work tomorrow, and I mentioned about like how much, you know, all these cameras and everything going through all the footage. Well, I did the mini series. I took a trip out west to Roanoke Rapids, a little over 2 hours, and conducted a podcast and rode around and then came back the same day trip, and I recorded every second of it. I recorded, or at least the trip there when I was. I think everybody knows who I was meeting, but I don't know if it's more of a secret, I guess, on his channel. But I'm gonna go through all that footage, and as daunting of a task as it may seem to a lot of people, it's awesome for me. I love it, and this is kind of the same concept that I'm getting at, and I'll switch back so we can get away from. Go back to there, yeah. So I'll switch back, but this is kind of the same thing, same concept. It's just it's quite a bit to go through, but great practice for the potential of what I want to do starting next year. Which is, oh man, it's like the difference of going out for 30 minutes, riding and filming something, recording something, coming back and editing it, versus like having cameras and, just camera set up and moved and driven. I did a video a little bit ago, and the opening, like I said, just kind of how I do my videos. If I could find, if I could find that video, let's see. Trying to think what it was called. I don't like clicking my own YouTube channel videos, so I'll try to find the actual one that I exported. This button. That's hilarious. I got my, well, I guess you can't see what I'm doing. What episode was it? 103? Yep, that's it. All right, so I'll bring this up. I wonder if I can play the, yep. I'll play this. And I think, hopefully it's not too loud. I've got the audio here. Let's see, does this play? Where I can see the audio? Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so this is kind of what I'm getting at. And this is, well, we won't get into it yet. I'm going to share my audio from my desktop and then just hit play. Catch up real quick. I'm going to try to email you tonight or tomorrow. Need editing advice. Oh, yeah. Hit me up, man. You got my email, right? It's on the channel. Motobomb, what's up, neighbor? It says, we're staring at the same site that you are right now for days. Oh, the Premiere Pro. Yeah, man, you're doing good work. Seriously. It's fun watching people learning, something new or their craft, and whether it's like riding motorcycles, learning that, editing, and seeing, like, it was always fun seeing somebody like an established channel, for example, and then going back to the beginning. And most people, and this is a good thing, if you hate how you did something back in the day, it just shows how much growth. And I got a good buddy of mine that named Patrick, and I work with him, and his business name is, or photography is 5 Day Photography. And he's a firefighter with me as well. We're same station. And he shows me pictures. Matter of fact, let's see, it's backwards. Brain doesn't work. This right here that I have to hang up is a picture that he took from his, I think that's his drone. That's got to be his drone. So actually the drone he gifted me. So that picture over there, he actually gave me, and I gotta put it up, but he didn't like it, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. Or like, he took a trip back in 2018 in October and just took off, went out west, and it just was gone. Some stuff in his life and all that other stuff, and he just took off. And he didn't document it video wise, but he took a bunch of pictures, and he shows me, the reason I'm telling you the story, surprise, long-winded, is the pictures that he shows of 2018. He hates it. He won't look at it. He won't even, like, because I even said it would be cool to see that picture, that raw image, that raw file that you took, and edit it a different way today as far as post and exposure, contrast, saturation, all that stuff, how you would do it today versus how you did it. And he says, I can't. I said, what do you mean? I said, it'd be awesome. Film it, do back when Instagram was cool, and go live and just kind of have a conversation about it. He said, I can't. I said, well, what do you mean? And he goes, I don't even like the way I snap the picture. So like the composition, they call it, everything in frame. He doesn't even like that. So he just is like, I'm good. I'm not worried about it. So I'll show you kind of what I'm saying as far as conversation, like setting cameras up. And this is a video that I posted in April of this year. So let me share my screen here. I'll kick me out of it too. And I'll start reading the comments. So this, and I will take me out of it. Yeah. And it should play some audio. Hopefully, if you're wearing headphones, earphones, let me turn it down a little bit. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to read the comments or chat. Since 2017, I've twisted that throttle without fail, until now. Now that the Honda Shadow is in the shop, today I finally understand what riding truly means to me. In my downtime, I've been able to fly the drone and take some more film for B-roll. I've actually got quite a bit better at flying it as well. That was a kick save, by the way.
Good morning.
All right, we'll pause it there.
What am I doing here? Well, this is the...
And we will go back. All right. So that's kind of like the direct. I love making, you know, like multicam. That's well, I don't know if it's called multicam sequence in Premiere Pro. It is Motobomb, Motobomb and Premiere Pro. No, it's cool too. That's the other thing. Just knowing the software and knowing seeing you do it and seeing there's another guy, Ride of a Lifetime. He's got a Honda Rebel 1100. Oh, I gotta mute this too. Shouldn't make any noise, but he's got a Rebel 1100, and he goes live and does some editing too on the side. So, but seeing him do Premiere, and you know, it's pretty cool to see. And even that I would have done differently, and that's the cool thing. I was back in April versus obviously we're in November now, and just learning new things. And I'm at that stage where I just want to I really want to turn up the heat as far as learning photography, videography, drone shots, flying the drone controls and stuff. And I've flown the drone a lot more than I did recently, or I guess back then even, I should say. Let me catch up real quick. Yeah, but you can chew up a lot of time for sure. Yeah, okay, so I'm at Motobomb talking to you about the keyframes and stuff, and the keyframes, absolutely. And it's really cool to see if you can remember this too when you're messing with keyframes. One of the cool things, like to step your game up, not anything you've done, I'm saying, but what step my game up, I guess I could word it a little bit better, is check this out. So if you, and I'll do this real quick. Oh shit, let me share my screen here. All right. So I'm holding Alt. I don't know if you have PC or Mac or whatever. You duplicate it. That's not what I was showing, but if you unlink this, delete that. If you're looking at moving like keyframes and stuff, so let's say you put your first keyframe here, and then you put one over here, and you may know this, but right click on the mouse and go to the what is it, temporal, and go to ease in. And then what happens is, and let me change this a little bit. Oh, it's a very flattering shot. So what happens is when you hit play, instead of it being, oh, it's kind of long. Hold on, I gotta do this real quick. Instead of it just being like from left to right, like you know, kind of jarring, you can kind of slow it down. at the end, and that's a bad example because it's taking too dang long. I don't have time for this. Yeah. All right. So watch, and it kind of slows down at the end. Now, and the computer was buffering because that's a 360 footage, but it slows it down so it's not an abrupt stop. So the ease in or ease out, like I said, I need to render that, but I'm not going to right now. So that was just a show real quick. But keyframes are awesome. Oh, look, 30-minute timer. Boom. See? And it counts up. All right, a little overtime. What do we got? Let's see. It's new to editing. Premiere Pro is new to me. Oh, yeah, I got you. No, I know what you meant. Yes, Rascal, it is a subscription based. So what I do, and I justify it myself at least in my head, I pay for like the Adobe, I think it's the Adobe Cloud. I can't remember what it's called, Adobe Cloud, something, whatever, but it's all of them. So I use Lightroom, I use Photoshop, I use Media Encoder, Premiere Pro, obviously, and Adobe Audition, which is like for sound. I've messed with that a little bit. Still plenty to learn. And what's the other one? Premiere Pro, Lightroom, and PDF, but that's just for work. So I use a lot of it. But you can get Premiere Pro. You can pay for just Premiere Pro, but like the amount of stuff that I do, I can justify, or I justify it. You can justify anything, right? Yeah, I justify it. But they did go up in the prices, so it is pretty expensive. But it's like one of those things. I was using Clipmaster in the very beginning when I was doing like Call of Duty videos, and my buddy, same guy, Patrick, 5 Day Photography, he was using Premiere Pro. So being able to like kind of pick his brain a little bit, YouTube University, and I wanted to get to the point where like Clipchamp had a ceiling. Okay, it's like Microsoft Clipchamp, I'm pretty sure it had a ceiling, and I was like, even like starting out, just because I really enjoy editing, like I dove in and could see like I didn't master it necessarily, but I could see myself getting right here and bumping my head as far as where I could get what I could get out of it. And they update and all that stuff, blah blah whatever. But Premiere Pro, so if I was here with Clipchamp, Premiere Pro was like way up here. Let's go off the chart, way up here. And I wanted to. I think it was like Top Gun, the sequel, right? Top Gun, the second one. I'm pretty sure that they used. My buddy was telling me about that. They used, because I saw it was crazy, like the timeline. But they used Premiere Pro to edit it, and so they made a whole, like Hollywood made a whole movie on it, based on it, as far as like editing software and everything like that. And I was like, well, I want if I'm here, I want to be here, and then gradually go up where I could eclipse, where I came from, and I didn't want to stunt my growth as far as editing and being an editor and stuff, and then later on getting on the media team and having the ability to get my hands on more hardware than software and learning about photography. Still quite a, I've got my bag packed. Last shift I brought my camera, and we stay busy at work, no joke. So I didn't even unzip the book bag, never took the camera out, but I want to try to bring it with me. And typically I do, and I don't unzip my book bag. I bring a throw down laptop. I want to start writing. There's so many things I want to do. And anyway, there's more to come on all this stuff, especially 2026, like the next chapter and stuff. So I told you before, like, or maybe some people might have missed it, but 30 minutes is my goal. But I don't want to abandon like a conversation. So I'm going to finish reading the chat and see what's up. And we're just going to extra innings or overtime. Still won't talk about the Redskins. Golly. Back in the day. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one. Photo Hope. The phone version is pretty easy to use. So they don't have it for Android. That's what I have. Motobomb. So you must have an iPhone. Pretty easy to use and lets you do quite a few things. Actually, I'm not sure if it's free. It was for me, but it's something you can look up. I think I looked at if you're talking about, man, excuse me. I assume you're talking about Premiere Pro still on the phone. If you are, I thought it was like it was free for like 14 days, like a trial. So, but I mean, you know more than I do about that if you're editing on your phone. But Rascal, yeah, going back to that, yeah, email. email me and we'll go whatever question. I would love to help anybody that I can. The drone crash, yeah. Might have been the first or second video of yours I found. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. 2 minutes, yeah. Yeah, we're at the end. But I've crashed that drone. I crashed it. That was getting off work at the Jordan Bridge. I went down there at sunrise and just had I mean, it was a motovlog, but it was really just a conversation for like 30 minutes or whatever. But I crashed it. I flew it in the bay because I was trying to learn the controls. And I remember going around. We got like we're the foam team, so like liquid fires, specialty team. So flammable liquid, flammable and combustible liquids. That's what's the long drawn out name. But the foam team has a trailer, and obviously it's metal. And I flew by it, and all of a sudden the controls got a little wonky. And in between, like the trailer was here and parked in line. The fire truck was here, and I cut in between, and it started getting a little wonky. There's obviously the metal rafters and stuff above for the building, the garage. And I was like, oh, I got to get out of here. So I was trying to land it, and I filmed that too. At one point, it was in one of my motovlogs, but I ended up crashing into lockers. I had no control. It ducked down, and then it just accelerated right into lockers. And it was like 9:30 at night, and everybody was in the watch office, so it was quiet as anything. And they heard it. They heard me go, "Oh no!" and then crash. And they heard like beep 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 because that's the drone, right? So I've crashed that. If you change so normally it has obstacle avoidance, especially forward and back. I don't think it has lateral. Mine doesn't, at least. But the forward collision control or collision detection, obstacle avoidance, it'll beep and stop. And if you have it in like a different mode, like if it's like anything out of the ordinary. So if it's in just normal flight operations, then the obstacle avoidance is on. But if you have it like track me or orbit, around a location, or fly destinations, whatever on the map, if you do that, it takes away, or the destination might be all right, but a lot of those features, it takes away the obstacle avoidance. Well, I put it in I think it's called tripod mode, so it's more like cinematic, where everything's kind of like more slow, like slower. So if you kind of like keyframes, see how I tie this all together there, Motobomb? The keyframe, instead of like going from point A to B and then stopping, just like that, it slows down because it's videoing, right? Cinematic. So I took my thumbs off the joysticks to make it stop. It was coasting to a stop, and I totally forgot. So I ended up obviously crashing into the post. And then I mentioned in a different motovlog video about my superpowers is catching things, and even if I can't catch it, like I'll throw my foot and keep it from hitting the ground. And that was a perfect example. So it hit my boot instead of hitting the ground, which I was worried it was going to hit the concrete. I think it missed it. It would hit the dirt, but either way, it like softened the blow. I think. And it lived to tell the tale. New scar, and good to go. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. But it is it's a somewhat of a steep learning process, especially when you get into the features and stuff. But there's so many videos on how to. You just find the right video, and you can kind of figure it out. Anyway, that's kind of like what I want to go over. This little fireside chat. I guess that's probably what I'm going to call it, just because I can chat about anything. And I appreciate y'all being a part of episode 2 now. And it's always a lot more fun having a conversation with the likes of y'all. And the comments and stuff that may be, there's a comment I gotta reply back to Restless Mule about on his channel, but trying to catch up. I've still got like a ton of videos in that community tab, and I started saving another tab of like watch later because that filled up, and I was trying to delete all those videos anyway. So I've got a watch soon tab or something. Somebody mentioned something about that. That they created a different watch later, since at 5,000 it fills up, and you can't give any more. And I haven't found one that says clear all. It clears the one that are watched, but I can't clear all of them. So that's disappointing. I'll figure it out, or I'll just sit there and go through. Oh gosh. And last topic, what am I at now? 9? Yeah, sure. 40 minutes. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm house sitting. The reason I brought that up, the conversation like 15 minutes ago, I'm going to be able to go through all this footage that I did for the trip. Because like I said, I filmed there. I filmed the podcast. I filmed the ride to lunch. I filmed the ride home. And I'm gonna be house sitting from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. I think that's it. So I've got a bunch of days where I'm just gonna be like between, I guess, here, there, whatever. But I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna go through that and edit that video along with the maintenance video, I guess, at this point, which is gonna be broken up. Um, I'm telling you, I made some mistakes on both the maintenance and that trip. But I think what I'm gonna do for the trip is just tell the story, and then after, I think what I'm gonna do, and he can do what I already said. He can do whatever he wants with his video and the footage and stuff. I don't care. That's whatever he wants to do. But I think some of the mistakes that I did, I'm gonna bring them into a different video, and that way I can tell the story, and then later on I can tell them myself because that's what I do. Okay, so. Yeah, watching the future. Okay, I think that Steven, I think you're the one that I was thinking it was you. That's funny. Watching the future. You're the one that gave me that idea. Because it was a watch soon, I think that I gave it. I should just, in honor of you, I should just change it. I think I did. Let's see. What did I call it? Not that it really matters. Save to playlist. Oh, a saved list. That's what I called it. But that was you. That's funny. You gave me the idea. I was almost positive it was you. Yeah, watching the future. All right. So from here, I wait an hour. I put my glasses on and I wreck some fools on Call of Duty. Thank you all for being a part of it. Fireside chats are cool, but I always think lives are cool. Yeah. 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 I don't know. I think I definitely want to do this. Maybe be a little more strict to 30 minutes, but at the same time, if there's a conversation, I told you I'm not gonna deviate and cut them off. But I like not having structure. And eventually I think it'd be cool to I always have a topic that I want to discuss in case, I'm just talking to myself at the, during the live portion. And I don't think that'll be a problem because I always have something to say, good or bad. But down the road, just having a conversation in chat, that's perfectly fine. That's actually where I'd like this to go, and then maybe sprinkle in a couple things here and there, but make it more chat oriented than anything. So I appreciate y'all being a part of it and throwing some letters that make words and sentences and stuff like that. Yeah, I appreciate that, Steven. That's funny. Steven has a I know he doesn't post, but he's got a video of a hitchhiker. And it says Steven Turner here, but it's Silver Winger. Got it right. Silver Winger 82. And he had a hitchhiker. We'll just leave it at that. It's the video. I met him a while ago, and then I watched that video, and then he popped in a chat later on. I was like, "Hey man, aren't you the guy?" I'm pretty sure, and yeah, he was, because I recognized the picture for his logo and all that stuff, or a picture, whatever you want to call it, picture for YouTube next to his name. So, but is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, future goals. Yeah, leave here, go to the gaming channel, and wreck some fools, play some zombies, whatever. With if anybody plays, or just continue the conversation over there about anything, but treated it separate than this channel, as far as not posting like gameplays and stuff like that. So trying to keep it oriented. I guess that's it. I'm gonna keep rambling, so I'll stop right there. Enjoy your Tuesday. I think that's good. Thank you all. Have a good night. Hopefully y'all getting some rides, and I'm gonna stop just shy of 45 minutes. And for the record, I was early. Here. All right. Y'all take care. Appreciate it very much. And I will talk to you soon. New video may come out. I don't think I'll finish it tonight. Thursday, Friday this week. Yeah. I think that'll be more likely. Okay. Bye.